Hi, folks. I want to talk about how we treat people in business. Not just how we build relationships, but how we treat them in good times and challenging times. And it's an easy topic to talk about, but let me give you a real life example, kind of a crazy one. So I've got a client who started a business a number of years ago, got an investor to put in $125,000. And about 2 years into the endeavor, the business went belly up and the investor lost all 125K. Follow now. Ready? Same business, entrepreneur starts up a new business now, 2 years later-ish, a year later-ish. This is back in 2015. That business has success. He reaches out to the prior investor and tells the investor, look, I'm giving you a little bit of stock in my new company that's working because I want to pay you back what I owed you from the previous business. And literally within a period of about 24, 30 months, this person, this business owner, repaid $125K in debt to somebody who lost his money in another business endeavor. And I want to mention this to you because I've been coaching this entrepreneur for a very long time now. And I still find it remarkable that he went back and honored that investor even though it was from a different business. Okay, let's talk about employees now. How do you deal with employees? And I'll give you an example. I have a product right now that I'm considering discontinuing. So I'm in the process of reducing some overhead in that particular product. And I've got people working on that product, and they're good quality people who, if all things were equal, I'd still have them working with me. So I had a very open conversation with one of them about, hey, look, I'm going to discontinue likely this product at some point in the future. I love the work you do. I'm not sure where to put you right now. Would you be open to just going on a little bit of a roller coaster ride with me for the short term as we mutually figure out what to do together next, or how will you go about this? And what I did was got the employee to buy into the, hey, let's figure this thing out together and come up with some creative solutions. Okay, why do these things matter? These things matter because the world it's a small place. It's a small world. And relationships matter over time. And let me give you an example. I'm now considering, imagine I stopped doing this coaching and consulting and products business that, all of you know me for, I suppose, right now. And imagine in a couple of years I start up a new business. Or imagine I start up a new business now, which in fact I just did with some other partners. Who would you want to build that with? And the answer is people you've built relationships with over the years. Who do you want to have as investors? People that invested you over the years. Here's the punchline in this short story. Your network should, if you handle it properly, grow and grow and grow. And it's easier and easier and easier to put together a business in the long run because you already have the moving parts to play all of the roles. I don't know if this topic that I'm sharing with you right now is just too ethereal or too out there, since I didn't use specific names and examples like I usually do, right? But I just want to, I always like to joke that, man, if I could just go back in time instead of being my currently 54-year-old self, and if I could just talk to my 24-year-old self or 34-year-old self and give him some pointers. The problem is I never would have listened, first of all, back then. But the second problem is I didn't have the relationships built up that I do now at this stage of life because of treating people with honor and respect. And other examples. Let's continue on this path. Some of you know that I like to take people that are working with me whose production and performance is terrific and give them unannounced pay raises, not bonuses, permanent increases without even telling them, without even taking credit for it, without even just sending them higher paychecks and then coming back later on and doing incrementally even higher. I like doing this strategy because it shows unconditional love. It's telling people I value you more than the daily work, and we're looking for the long haul right now. There are 30-ish people working with me right now on my team, as some of you know. And what's really cool about that is there are a few, maybe a half a dozen, that are the kind of keepers that I would take with me to 10 or 12 different endeavors. What I'm trying to say, and I mean rock star types. I'm not talking about just employees, because a lot of them are good that are working with me right now that I would take with me to other places for some kind of side roles. Okay, let's wrap up this short video with a question for you. What can you do today or in the next week or the next month to shore up and build relationships in some way so that it makes it clear to both parties that you're in this for the long haul and even for potential opportunities in the future. I want you to think about Silicon Valley or venture capital for a minute. When a venture capital company decides to invest in a business, right, they pick a business model and then they want to bring in their own people and their own team. Well, where do they get the team from? And the answer is relationships built up over the years, which is why CEOs will often come to a company and start bringing in a bunch of people with them. That is not a strategic error. That in fact makes some sense. Okay, folks, hope this video was helpful, and continue to build your businesses.